when we came here, we went to the biggest producers like XYZ Films, Paramount, and we sat at the door, and they said, you can't come in because we're selling, we're not buying. I'm like, well, give me 5 minutes, and if you don't like my film, I'll leave. And those five minutes turned into 45 minutes at the door, and then they bring me inside.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Nerdopolitan. Today we have a special guest, BuAli Shah. He's an actor, director, producer, and martial artist. So it's going to be an interesting conversation we're going to have with him. Hey, BuAli, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Well, thanks for accepting the invite to our show, Nerdopolitan.
Thank you for having me.
We like to interview people that know a lot about their areas, and you are multifaceted. You have the acting down, directing. You're also a writer.
Yes, I've written 2 feature films, yes.
That's amazing. So how do you balance, or what tips can you give our viewers on how you balance all these multidisciplines in making your films?
That's a very good question, actually. I think the focus is very important. I think what really draws people down. Now, remember, I went to school for this too, so I have a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues that came out of my school too, and most of them are not in the same field. They've decided they want to do something different, and not like I didn't do anything different. I've tried doing different things too, but at the end of the day, I always come back to it because it's where my focus is, you know. And if I need to create film as a writer, then I focus on that. If I'm creating as a director, then I focus on that. So it's really the focus. We have to have the focus, which is very important.
So what got you started? Like who or what was your inspiration, and where did you start? What area did you start? Did you start as a writer? Did you start as an actor? Did you start as a martial artist? What got you into making films?
So, well, that's a good question.
We can go all the way back until you were a kid.
yeah, we can go back.
Yeah.
I started at in Connecticut, and I was going to this college, and I was going for as regular people, going for music. For business, and just doing my basic courses at Normal Community College, and I was always interested in acting and filmmaking. I always did fashion shows or talent shows in my colleges and in high school and stuff like that. I always loved it. I just did it for fun. I never thought I'd try to be a full-time star, a full-time filmmaker, a producer. Never thought about that. I just did it because I loved it. And so I took one class because we were working on a feature film. And that was the first feature film. I was only 18 years old, and it didn't release because obviously we were just kids doing some crazy stuff. But every single student in my class, my colleague, it needed an actor, and they just kept hiring me, and I kept saying sure. And I'm in the library doing something. They're like, "Hey, do you want to act?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "I need help. Please help me." I'm like, "All right." So I would go and act in there. So there was about 16, 17 short films in the college that was in every semester. And not like on a decision, but it was just because they needed somebody and I was available. And I would have fun with it, And then while I was doing that, I needed money. So I was like, I got to get a job. So I kept begging my teacher to hire me an assistant in the film department. And after a year, he finally agreed. And he taught me everything behind the scene. So not that I was only taking classes, I was being part of the teaching process as well. And then it didn't stop there. Normal Community College had this special edition of process where they brought in people from Hollywood here, from LA, and they flew them to, and the state paid for it, to teach students. And there were special students that were selected to do that. And I was part of that as well. I was lucky enough to be there. And I think it's because of my hard work and dedication, I guess. They really, really like what I do. So that helped me a lot because they were real professionals. They worked on big films like Home Alone 2, blah, 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 right? All these big films. And they showed me a path where they showed me how to be focused. They said, it just because, we're Hollywood doesn't mean we're different from you. The difference is that we focus and we do what we want to do. And that really changed my perspective. So if I wanted to do anything, like if I wanted to do some kind of acting, I would just approach and I would find out the methodology and one by one step to go towards it. And I'm not saying I'm a big star. No, I'm not even close to that yet. But I know that I'm in the right place. I know where to get started from at least.
So it's interesting. You feel you have like a natural talent because like all these other kids from your school were asking you to act in their stuff. So that must have been pretty. It must have been pretty fun. Like just like to act in different many roles. What would you say was your first role? Do you remember your first role, or one of your first roles that you remember, or do you have a interesting memory with?
Yeah, I think my first role was they made me play like the negative lead.
The negative lead.
Yeah, I was
You're
a bad
the antagonist.
Guy. Yeah, antagonist. I was the antagonist, and they wanted me to. And I'm like, if I want to play be in the movie, I want to be a hero. They're like, no. That was the first role. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I won an award for it in the college.
That's great.
And because I was so angry, I played an angry bad guy.
Yeah. So it worked.
Why are you making me a antagonist?
Yeah.
And it was so great. It was so great. I went off the script a lot, and I just did what I wanted to do, and they loved it. So it was pretty funny. So that's
so
what
you did a little bit of improv, going off the script, and also showing your anger because you wanted it to be the lead. It worked. It worked in your favor.
Yeah, it did. And that's something that I would like to share. That don't limit yourself. I'm not saying don't go after what you want. If you want to be protagonist, antagonist, do whatever you want to do, but don't limit yourself. Give it a shot. Just because you're an antagonist or protagonist in one film doesn't mean that's what's going to suit you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So let's say you do an extra for the movie. Doesn't mean that's what you want to do for the rest of your life, but give it a shot. Don't back out. Don't hesitate from something that someone offers you. Someone saw something in you and they want to offer you something. Don't underestimate yourself. And obviously don't be overconfident, right? The difference between overconfidence and confidence is very minor. I can do this is confidence. Only I can do this is overconfidence. It's very close, so you got to be careful with that.
It's interesting, like sometimes even characters that are usually like the lead, like the charismatic lead, when they do the opposite, when they do the antagonist or the villain, it becomes even more interesting. Have you ever seen like examples of that? Like I've seen, for example, I forgot this actor's name. Come on. You remember Once Upon a Time in the West?
Yeah.
So it was like the main villain, that gave the
Tony.
No, so we have the actor that was Charles Bronson. He had the harmonica.
Yep.
And it's the guy that put him the harmonica when he killed his brother. What's his name? Carlos. Carlos can help us maybe with that. Is he shoot? Henry Fonda. I was mix his name because he has a daughter, Fonda, also. Okay. And there's a Henry Fonda. Yeah. So Henry Fonda, he always plays the nice guy, the lead, the protagonist. And when he played the villain in Once Upon a Time in the West, he was just mesmerizing. So sometimes it's fun to play like different roles, right? Agree.
Especially if you don't know where you stand, I think it's great to play any role because I think you come from, depends on where you come from too. My background is from originally from Pakistan. My family's from Persia, everywhere all over the world. I'm like a mutt, but nobody in my family is an actor. Nobody is a filmmaker. I'm like the black sheep of the family.
You're at the vanguard of your family in this. You're the trailblazer.
Yeah. And
what was your family into before?
Business. My family's all business. Yeah, my parents are in business. My brothers were in business, and even I was in business. And even I had a flower shop when I was 17 years old. My father helped me out with that. Obviously, I ran it to the ground, but I wanted to do something that I really loved, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So and that's another reason why I'm doing filmmaking and script writing, because I wasn't sure what I'm good at or what I love, right? So I tried doing business, I tried doing film business, I tried doing music, I tried doing different things, right? But I always come back to acting. Like if you've asked me where my heart and soul is, I love making films. I love doing the entire process. I love being behind the scene as well. I love putting my hard work into it. But acting is where I always just stand. And I still believe, even though I've done 2 feature films as an actor, I played principal roles. I've done off-Broadway theaters in New York City. I've done a bunch of short films as an actor, lead actor. But I still am to find a director who can really direct me and get that inner talent, that inner something out of me. I'm still waiting for that. I think
you're waiting for a director to help you explore your different phases.
Yes, you could say that. Yeah. And I think,
is that something you think you should do, like on the desk, or when you're on the set, or where do you think a director can help you find the different levels of interpretation?
I think patience. I think I need a director with patience. I need a director who works with me before the film even starts. Someone that can really work with it and revolve. If you create a story and so you hire a person, is different from you hire a person then create a story, right? So you get somebody, you say, okay, I like this person, I like your personality, let's write something for you. Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
That's when I think there's more successful. If you look at all these successful films, right? It's not about, hey, let me write this movie and then let me find somebody. What happens is if you see a film that is already, it's based around a person or a story, then it blends in. It looks like this person is made for that film.
Yeah.
And they do that because they know who the person they want to hire beforehand, and they write the story around that person.
Yeah.
I need something of that sort. I know I'm not a big star, maybe at some point I will be, but that's what a true director does. If I write a movie, if I'm in it, usually I write director myself. I act in myself. I write a movie that I know I can handle as an actor. That's what I do. So yeah.
So I feel like that also. I mean, if there's a solid script. But if you also like, okay, you have the cast. They say they cast BuAli Shah, but the script was already finished before that. Mm-hmm. Maybe there should be some rewriting around the character of BuAli Shah to get some of your talents incorporated into the script, right?
That makes a lot more sense, right? Think about it. If they wrote something, they don't know me, they don't know who I am, so I'm coming there, I'm doing whatever they want me to do. Okay, I do to the best of my ability whatever they want me to do, right? I'm flexible. I can blend in well. I can speak different languages. I can act. I can dance. I can do martial arts. I can do comedian stuff. And I can play nervous really well. I can cry on cue. Blah blah blah. Right. But once they get to know me, they'll realize, okay, you know what? Maybe we could do a little bit more than that. Let's do a story where this guy is serious. Let's do a story where he's a comedian. So it depends, yeah. So I think a true director should really understand the person they're going to be working with and then manipulate the story a little bit.
Yeah, and take advantage of all the resources that the actor can put on the screen in front of the camera.
Well said. Yep.
Is that what you do when you write? Like, do you write your characters that you can shine with? Do you like say, okay, I want to do something where I can show this part of my talent? So I'm gonna write that in the script.
I've done that. Yes. So one of my film called A Killer in Love. It was a short film, and I wrote it because I thought that I have to show I've done all these films where I'm running around, jumping, and doing all these crazy things that normal person wouldn't want to do. I've jumped off of like 3-story buildings into the ground, water, does crazy stuff, and I'm like, why don't I want to show something I've done? I love martial arts. I've been doing martial arts for like 20 years now, right? And I've never done a true martial arts movie. So I was like, all right, let me make a short film to do martial arts. And I think up until now, maybe I don't know if you saw the clip or not.
I saw a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the film that has really been talking to me and the people I show it to. So everybody that I've shown a lot of films, right? Everybody talks about that scene that is a martial arts scene. Even though it's a full film, but everyone talks about that scene. And that's because it's where my backbone is, where my background is from, right? Yeah. So I think that's what I'm talking about. So when I wrote that film, I said, okay, this guy has to be a fighter, and he has to fight. So I brought in people from who does stunt in Batman series and stuff like that. I brought them, my friends. I brought them in. We discussed, and it's okay, let's do it. So then we did an entire scene. If you saw the scene, they're truly falling on the ground. They're wearing safety equipment, but it's truly real fight.
It was well trained, well rehearsed, so that nobody gets hurt.
Yeah, definitely training. We trained for 3 days, 4 days we trained, and we did the shot in 1 day. But it was really good because it really brought that side of me out that I didn't even know existed like that. Because it's stage combat. You can't hit anybody, right?
Yeah, of course. It's not a real fight.
Exactly.
Some people, it's funny, like, I don't know, like maybe rookie actors go into a fight scene. Yeah, let's make it look real. They actually hit each other, maybe injure each other.
Man. It happened to me actually. One of my film, Oops a Daisy. I don't know if you saw a fight scene. There's a small little fight scene in it. And I was telling my director, sir, we should choreograph. He goes, no, it's a small scene. Don't worry about it. And same thing happened. I'm telling this guy to come on my left side, and he came to my right side. And then he got elbowed in the face, and we had to take him to the hospital. And again, it taught me. It taught me, right? It taught me that we shouldn't be doing that. You also had a scene where we were doing a action scene with fake guns behind a courthouse. and
Oh, you have to ask for a permit for that.
oh my god, and somebody forgot to call the right people, and we
So-
were surrounded by cops, and I'm on the ground like I was wearing a white beater and I was a white shirt, and I'm on the ground.
Yeah.
And the cops are thinking these people are holding me gunpoint.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Don't move!" And my friends, actors, were like, "What's happened?" And they're not even. And then they're not
That
even.
could have escalated really bad.
Oh yeah. They were.
It did actually.
It kind of did, because they said if they lifted their guns, they could have shot him.
Yeah.
But what happened was I got up and they were so shocked, my friends, actors, they didn't even say anything.
Yeah, it was just frozen.
And I got up and I said, "Hey, we're filming. This is a fake. This is fake." And as soon as I said that, the cops like, "All right, bring your guns down," to the other cops, and they brought the guns down, and they yelled at us. I'm like, "I'm sorry."
So, something similar happened to me in Colombia. We were doing a zombie short, and I had a huge AK-47.
Oh boy.
And it was like a holiday. It was like a Monday was a holiday, and then like the police come in a motorcycle, and they come really slowly, and they're like shit in their pants.
Oh no.
Literally like shit in their pants. Like they come up to me and they look at me and like, oh, these guys are stressed. So what saved me, because I had this AK-47, I was just like looking over here, because we were about to do the scene. And then what saved me was that the camera guy said, "Cut," and then you can see the relief in their face. They're like,
Oh my god.
and I'm like, yeah.
That's scary. That's always good. So you got to be careful. Like that was.
Always get your permits.
Yeah, always, always get your permits.
Always get your permits.
Yep.
Always give a heads up if you're gonna do something like that in the street.
And cops are great. They're very helpful. Something like that happened to us before too. Like we were in a forest and we were shooting a scene, and we had a ghillie suit, hermit suit. One of my friend, he's like 6'3", he was doing a scene where he was killing people, fake knife. Someone called the cops, and the cops came and they told us like, "You guys can't do that." Then we went to the police station. They just give us a permit immediately. It was not a problem. The cops are there to help us. So if you do something like this, I think it's no matter what country you're in, I think you can talk to them. They'll probably support you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just giving them a heads up. Send a letter before, like, "Hey, we're gonna shoot here. We're gonna do this."
Yep.
I think here, like, since you do have to pay for shooting in the street, something like that, then they will give a heads up to the neighbors. It's like in LA, it's very organized in that sense.
Well, it's
but
LA.
it's more expensive. It's more expensive, but it's more organized.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, 100%.
But if so, let's now that we're on that subject. So you're doing a lot of independent movies, like produce your own film.
Yes.
Let's talk about how do you manage to finance, and like maybe we can learn some tricks on making it work with a small budget, with a shoestring budget, like some of the things you learned, because one of the things that in LA is expensive, but if you go to maybe other cities, you might find ways of getting through those little obstacles.
Right. So if you ask me, I think it's all about your attitude. Honestly, I don't think I've ever burned bridges or made enemies. So wherever I went, I made friends. Yeah. And I think I truly mean it, because this is the way I was raised. I like to make friends, and I like to genuinely help people where I can. And from that help, when people see that the honesty and truthworthiness of somebody, I believe they work together then. They can trust you. So, for example, Catalina, when I bought her for one of my films called They Exist. And why? Because 6 years before that, I knew her from school. And we just got to know each other. "Hey, how are you?" That's it. Nothing much. But whenever we met, I would smile. We would talk about things, and I helped her in the homework or this and that. So when she saw me, she was able to trust me. She said, "Okay, I'll help you." And I said, "Listen, I can't pay you. Obviously, we'll feed you and all that stuff." Just like that, we got every single person in the cast together, right? Let's talk about filmmaking behind the scene.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saved money. We saved some money from my work. My brother was involved in it, so he helped me out, obviously. I had 4 friends who we discussed and started talking about filmmaking. So it started with 4 friends. From 4, we kept talking to each other. It was a 1-year process. And from 4, it became 20 friends that wanted to work together and do something. And all these people, and I was still in doubt to do this, so I started writing the film slowly, And it took me, like I said, about a year to finish writing and all that stuff. Once I had it, I gave them, like, "Here's my job. I'm done. Here's the money I'm going to put in. And we're still $15,000 short, so whatever you guys want to do." So all the friends that I had, 20 of them, bought all the equipment that I gave them a list of equipment. We had a
list of things that you need.
Yeah, whatever I need to film. I was brand new in the world. I didn't know anything much about it. Obviously, I did my research. I was shooting short films forever, but they bought the equipment and mailed it to my house. So I woke up this one morning. It's like Christmas to me. I go outside and I'm like, what the heck is going on? There's like 10 boxes.
Wow.
Like, what is happening? And then they showed up in the cars and they're like, well, here's equipment, so you got no excuse. Let's shoot. I'm like, oh my God. So I guess you could say I got lucky, but also I think what goes on...
That sounds like a movie in itself, like
right?
The movie behind the movie.
Well, eventually I'm gonna talk about this because I think it needs to be talked about, right? And these people that I can't forget, they're always there for me, and also because not to toot my own horn, I think the way I grew up. It reflects to that, And these friends are not gone away. I talk to every single one of them, even though we're not working together anymore. They're all there for me. So if I call them, they'll all come and work.
This was back in the East Coast.
Yes, East Coast. Yep.
East Coast.
Yep.
So all the films, the features you've produced, the short films, the stuff you've acted in, it's all in the East Coast.
Correct. At the moment, yes.
So how's the transition? My brother has a cool idea for interviewing like transplants. He calls them transplants, like people that come from one side of the country or from different parts of the world to this city.
So you know what? One thing I gotta say that LA doesn't have the best rap in the East Coast, right?
The best rap.
Yeah, the reputation, right? It's not the best. Why? Because of, I guess, it's the nature of the business. They talk about everyone's a cutthroat, behind backstabber, blah, blah, blah. I think that's not true. I think what it is it's the person. It's not the city. It's not the people. It's a person. You could meet somebody who's backstabber anywhere. It could be you could live in Utah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that they have that wrong. Second of all, I think people have not lived in LA. The people that comment on LA haven't lived in LA. They're naysayers. They just talk about, hey, I heard it there. I heard it there.
Yeah.
So I have people close to me that were not very happy about me coming to LA because of they're worried about my safety. They're worried about me not wasting my time. And I said, you know what? I understand that, but I got to do something on my own.
Yeah.
I got to look at if it's that bad. It's okay. I could turn around and come back whenever I want.
Well, LA's pretty chill, and for meeting people, it's pretty cool. Like there's lots of people that I've met also before COVID. COVID kind of slowed things down for a while.
Yeah.
But there's lots of people that are interested in doing lots of independent projects, which is a cool way also to get known, like what you were doing.
Agreed. So I think so far I've been here about 2 months now, almost, and I saw only positive things about LA, honestly. And I met people like yourself who are very interested, who are passionate. You don't see this many people passionate. Yesterday I was in an acting class and they were talking about, hey, people say I can't find a director, I can't find a casting director, I can't find this. Like, what? You close your eyes and throw a rock, you'll hit somebody that knows a casting director, and that doesn't happen in the East Coast like that. It doesn't work that way. So in here, if you're actually truly doing what you want to do, like what you're doing, like if you truly want to do this, then there's no reason you can't spend 5 hours or 6 hours a day looking for what you want. And I bet you, if you're searching for 5 hours, 6 hours a day looking for a casting director or a producer, you're gonna find them. So don't tell me you can't. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, or just do the casting yourself. There's lots of places where you can go to a place and do the casting.
Yep.
Say you have the roles, you have the script written down. What's the name of this place, Carlos? Remember where we do the casting calls? It's called Hollywood something. Hollywood Casting.
I'm not sure.
Are you talking about backstage or?
Yeah, it's not backstage. It's one. It's on Santa Monica.
Santa Monica, okay.
Yes, on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Okay.
No, it's on Hollywood, but on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Okay, I know where that is.
So there was a casting place where people would go. Yeah, we're not sure if it's open because maybe it closed during COVID. But it was a cool place because the actors would subscribe to the webpage and they would get like the sides.
Oh.
And okay, this was good for me. I think I could fit that role. And as a filmmaker, you could go there and just cast the people for your projects.
That's brilliant. See, stuff like that doesn't happen in the East Coast like that, especially in that area. I mean, I like the East Coast, not because I grew up there. I love it. I would always probably call it home, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's certain places for everyone, right? There's a certain place that everyone should go. Like, for example, if you're a person that likes to fly planes, or obviously you want to be near an airport, you want to be near a place where you can access that easier. You don't want to drive 3 hours or 4 hours to fly to get to a place where you want to fly airplanes, right? Yeah. Same thing with acting. If you want to be an actor, why are you not in LA?
So I think LA is actually good for you because you mentioned before we started the interview that you were interested in you're doing the hours to get a pilot lessons.
Yes.
So you're gonna so this is like you have Hollywood, you have the film business, you have, I think it might be the city in the U.S. with the most airports.
Yep.
It might be the city with the most airports in all of the United States. So I think getting your flight hours might be easier here, maybe, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you also ride a motorcycle. All right.
Yeah.
So I think you're like an adventurous type guy.
Why not?
Do you want to be like a Tom Cruise type of guy, or?
Listen, Tom Cruise is, he's way, way up there. But I think I just love. Obviously, he's an inspiration. There's no doubt about it. And why wouldn't someone want to follow someone like that? But I have more than one inspiration. Like Sylvester Stallone, I have Arnold, I have obviously Tom Cruise, and then there's other people in other film industries like Latino film industries and Bollywood film industries that I admire, obviously. But I think my passion for this type of stuff comes from my father, because he came from nothing. And he became somebody, and where he was able to, bring us all to United States and give us a good upbringing and help us in many, many ways. So I think it's not just who I admire, but also because how I grew up. You know what I mean? So my passion is thinking about things that I love to do, and also because it's one life. So if you want to do something, why wouldn't you want to do it? So I got my boat license, motorcycle license, car license. Obviously, I'm gonna get my semi-truck license. I want that. I'm getting my plane license. Obviously, this is a single engine right now, and then I'm gonna get a double engine. Then I'm gonna get a jet slowly, and not because I want to be in the airline, but it's because I just want to do it. And I think when I fly, I feel like I'm just free. I love the feeling of being in the air and it being in control. I think it's just amazing.
It's an interesting story. For example, you remember Christopher Reeves, the guy that played Superman?
Yep.
He was an actual pilot. He was an actual pilot, and he was an actual hero in real life. He was a real life hero, because in Chile there was the dictatorship, the Pinochet dictatorship.
Yep.
And I think they're gonna massacre like at least 90 actors.
Oh my God.
So like one of the Chilean actors talked with Christopher Reeves, and he said, "Look, you're worldwide known as Superman. If you could go there and kind of like be there so that they draws the attention of the world, maybe these actors will be saved." And he did just that. He flew his own plane from the U.S. all the way to Chile. Wow. And he arrived, and it was like news worldwide. So like the actors, when they were getting all this attention, were spared by like the dictator, because it was drawing too much attention for him to, because they were political opponents. So
so that's great.
He was good, yeah. So yeah,
one act of kindness, man. That's incredible.
And that's amazing. The good thing about having a pilot license, against you can help people in more than one way.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think flying is something. Obviously, it's a personal thing to me, but I think I flew in with some of my friends. And my family is the only one there. Like, man, this guy's out of his mind. Like I said, I'm the black sheep of the family. I do everything they tell me not to do. I'm like, well, I want to do it, so I'm just gonna do it anyway. One thing I haven't done is skydive, which is really want to do. But I've just been busy doing other things that one day I'll get to that too.
You'll work on that little by little.
Yep, exactly. It takes time.
So let's go back to your martial arts phase.
Sure.
What type of martial arts do you practice?
So I started off when I believe I was in 3rd or 4th grade, and I was being bullied at school.
Okay.
And in the bus and the bus stop, in a school bus, I mean.
So you wanted to stand up for yourself.
I had no choice.
Yeah.
I had to do something, and I went to this friend of mine, who kind of like semi-adopted me, and he was our neighbor. And my dad would go back and forth from Pakistan to America, so I didn't really have a father figure. My brother, who was my father figure, was very busy trying to put food on the table. So I was left with this neighbor, a 6'2" guy, American guy, who was there for me, and he took me in kind of like his family, and he helped me out with a lot of things. So he when he's heard that I'm doing this, first he started teaching me himself, and he said, okay, we got to teach you professionally. So we joined the Taekwondo Center. And when I joined the Taekwondo Center, I was very focused because I had an aim. Even though I was so young, I had an aim. So my master was telling me, why are you so serious? Why don't you just enjoy yourself? I'm like, because I want to be strong really fast. So if you tell me to do 10 push-ups, I'll do 20. Like that. I was very, very, very focused on it. And within a year, I was like...
You went above and beyond.
Oh, always. And I think, obviously, I will listen. When a teacher is telling me something, why wouldn't you listen? When they're telling you something for your own good, why wouldn't you listen? Why would you phase it out? Or why would you have other agendas? I never had other agenda. So if I'm in a party, my agenda is that party.
Yeah.
If I'm in a martial arts studio, my agenda is the martial arts studio. If I'm in a film, if I'm in a school, whatever I'm doing, I close everything out, and I'm in that phase at that time. Whatever happened to me whenever. But
So no multitasking.
At that time.
At that time, when it's time to party, you party.
Yeah.
When it's time to get serious, you get
Yes,
serious. When it's time for
exactly.
dancing, you dance.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
it's time when to fly the plane, you just fly the plane, and that's
Yep.
actually a good. That's what I expect from every pilot. Just fly the plane and focus on the plane.
Yeah, exactly, right? Since
Yeah.
you got so many lives with you. So martial arts started from over there, and I started competing in different dojos, and thankfully I kept winning. You know, the only thing I didn't like about traditional martial arts is the politics of it. You know, and they wanted you to do certain things a certain way, and did not really be letting you fight. So after 6 years of doing it, I quit martial arts and I just went on my own. I started taking different types of classes on my own, and I started doing independently. Even if I would go to a dojo, I'll tell them, listen, I'm not here for your classes per se. I don't want to compete with anybody. I don't want to go into competitions. I want to do my own thing. So, and then I went to different countries and competed, and like Dubai and Pakistan, I competed in those countries as well. And where actually martial arts is like, it's full contact. MMA just started here, 15, 20 years ago? It was like that in the countries
It was
already.
a little more like MMA was in the 90s, I think, but it wasn't called MMA. MMA was like
Kickboxing, I think. Something
it was
like
like it was a mix. Like it was like full contact because that's where Gracie would fight these like wrestler dudes, and it was like,
yeah, something like that. But it wasn't open here, is what I'm trying to say. It was like open. You couldn't just go and find it in Connecticut or New York. It wasn't like that. You had to go specific places to find those kind of things. Now it's openly everywhere. You could do it. And so I was doing that type of martial arts, you know. And then once I know that I'm able to handle myself very nicely, is when I got attacked a few times by 4 or 5 guys, and I was like, okay, I got to stop doing this. This
Yeah.
is not good. I could hurt people.
Yeah.
And what happened was I turned my focus towards the stage combat. So I took a stage combat classes, a few classes where I learned how to control myself as an actor in martial arts. So that's when it really helped me in my action scenes in my films that I did.
So does the dancing also help with the martial arts? Because I know
yeah.
Bruce Lee was a dancing champion, besides being inventing his own martial arts.
Yes, yes.
How do you figure that dancing helps martial arts?
Well, martial arts is a lot of balance. There's a lot of balance on martial arts, right? So when you dance and you can move, let's say you do break dance and you can move your hands from one to the other, and you can do it fast. That's kind of like martial arts. You can actually, back in time, people called it dance instead of martial arts because they were making fun of it. But that's true because it looked like it was martial arts. And the reason behind it is because if you can move fast in a dance, you have a good chance of learning martial arts, and vice versa. If you can do martial arts, you can dance. It's not that far away from it, but obviously you have to be strong enough. You have to have practice. So when I was competing, I had to do unorthodox things that in America, they might not like it. We had to burn fire under sand and put my hands in the sand and all that kind of stuff. I don't do it obviously anymore, but yeah, been there, done that. And I think same thing with dancing. Sometimes you have to, if you see belly dances, that's very tough. Not belly dancing. I'm talking about the
belly dancing is like the sexy dance with the
sorry,
the
not
girls.
belly dance. What was it called? The other dance, the very, very famous dance where they have to dance on their toes.
Oh, ballet?
Ballet. Oh, I was close.
It started with a B.
Ballet. So ballet dance is very difficult,
Yeah.
and it's not. I'm telling you because I tried it for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Because my friend was in it, and she's like, "Come on, you think it's easy? Try it." I'm like, "Okay." And I went there. I was like, "Oh my god!" Next day, I'm gonna get up. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Standing on your toes must be difficult.
Oh yeah, it's very difficult, and I think we should never underestimate what people are doing because you never know.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't done competitive martial arts in some time. I'm getting back to it. I'm getting back in shape for it. Not to fight, but I think for my film purposes.
Yeah, for your film purposes, it would be.
That's my main.
Okay, so are you writing anything now that has like a martial arts? Are you working on anything like an action film, or what's your next project?
So my next project, we just finished writing a. It's like a horror film, but more like a alien suspense type of film.
Okay, cool.
And
I like those.
We just pitched it to the producers in AFM, American Film Market, recently, which is the reason I was here.
Yeah.
And very, very, very subtle, which was I wasn't sure if what's going to happen, but we came with like 3 projects. We have a series, and which is an action series, and we have a this thriller horror film. and they both were very much liked by the Hollywood producers, and they actually tell me to send them the script. So we just copyrighted everything, and I just started sending them the scripts itself. So let's see how that goes.
Well, that's amazing. Let me know if you have a character for me. I'll play an alien, or maybe a guy that got abducted by an alien, and then they just like
Sure,
did something to my
good.
brain. I don't know, anything. That could be cool.
Sounds good.
Sounds
Let's do
fun.
it.
It sounds like a fun script.
Yeah, it did. Because you know what? AFM is something a lot of people don't know about. AFM is a place where producers get together and they come and that you could pitch to them, and if they like your film, they pick you up. And it's not easy. It's not. You have to have. There's a process behind it. You know, if you need to know the process, connect with me. We'll talk about it. But when we came here, we went to the biggest producers like XYZ Films, Paramount, and we sat at the door. And they said, you can't come in because we're selling, we're not buying. I'm like, well, give me 5 minutes. And if you don't like my film, I'll leave. And those five minutes turned into 45 minutes at the door. And then they bring me inside. So it's really humbling to see that, you know, what I have all my 15 years of experience of watching films and learning from these watching films and learning from the producers and writers, because I read a lot of books. And I put them into the book and I give them explanation why this has happened. They like it, and this is really humbling to me and my team, because obviously I'm not alone. I have 4 people who are in my team who help me all the time, and maybe more than 4. But I think if you go after what you want, make sure you do your homework. Be prepared. Be ready.
So that's a good thing to ask. What do you mean by being ready? What do you need before you go to that meeting? What should you have? Should you have the script, budget, a pitch?
Everything. So you need to have your homework done, right? First of all, you need to figure out what is AFM, right? So do that research. Then
American Film Market.
Yep, American Film Market.
So that's where people meet to show projects and
right.
try to get funding.
Everything comes with a cost, right?
Yeah.
So first of all that. Then second of all, you make sure that you have done projects before. So the questions they ask is, what project have you done before? Where was it released? Okay, you have another project. Who are you casting in that project? What is your idea? Do you have a written letter by consent by that person that if you give you money, they will work with you? So there's a lot of things that are there. But again, you could also sell your films, so you can go and directly to them. So people are hesitant and they think about, should we approach this producer? Should we approach the production company? Yes, you can approach them. Just send them an email. They have different departments in their production companies, right? Reach the right department. Talk to them normally. Ask them, hey, here's a film, here's a script, here's the idea, here's what we did. So we had a full script, right? We had the pitch deck, right, which explained the budget and everything, and then we had the story itself. We shot a 3-minute promo for that shot. We did special effects on it, so we invested a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then we came here. We came prepared.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what you have to do.
So that's what you've been doing here. You said you moved to LA a month and a half ago.
Yep.
Ago. Mm-hmm. Have you been doing any castings also? Like go to castings for other projects? Like
You mean casting or
have you been going to
Auditioning.
castings? Yeah, auditioning.
So I have not yet, because my aim was here to, obviously pitch my films. Right?
Move your own film. Yeah.
But I just started doing some acting classes in different places.
Well, that's cool because you get to network at those acting classes also.
Yeah. I think. I mean, obviously, I always love learning, and I think if I'm in LA and I didn't take a acting class, doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
So I met these people who invited me to the Celebrity Center in Hollywood, and I went there and I took one class. So far, it was great, and I'm still learning and still taking classes with them. Let's see how it goes. They have promised me a lot of things, not like promise as in promise. They said I'm a promising person, is what they're saying. That they really like my look, they really like my style, they like my work, they like my headshots, and they like that I'm very focused. And they always give me whenever I meet them, they give me ideas like, okay, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. They love me. They kind of love me. So I don't see anything negative about being here. Again, at the end of the day, I'm very new here. I still don't know a lot of things, and obviously I'm gonna make some mistakes, but that's okay. That's why it's called life. We're human. We make mistakes, and a better human is if you make a mistake, just don't make that mistake again. Make a different mistake.
Yeah.
So you can grow from it.
That's how you learn.
Exactly. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, I'm taking acting classes. I have not gone for auditions yet, but I think I just want to get a little bit better in terms of where I need to be, where I need to be situated. Where I need to go, and obviously the traffic in LA is amazing. So I have to be careful with that too. So I have to make sure I'm situated in the right place and I go to the right place and the right people.
Right, exactly. So besides acting, planes. You also motorcycles.
Yes.
So tell us about that hobby.
So
Motorcycles.
I've loved motorcycles since I was a baby, man. I don't know. I've been doing this since I was like 7 years old. I rode motorcycles, but my parents didn't like motorcycles because we had some accidents in the family.
Yeah,
And
they may feel it's dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, they think it's really dangerous. They didn't want me to do it. But at one point, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm smart. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna buy a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So I bought the motorcycle, and obviously my mom was like, "This is a bad idea." I'm like, "Mom, it's okay. I got this." So I got the motorcycle, and I've been riding it for the past 7-8 years now, and I love it. Everything about it. I have a Harley and a Yamaha Bolt. And ever since I came to LA, I've been renting cars. So I'm like, okay, I got to get my bike over here because this weather is incredible. I'm from the East
The
Coast.
weather's the most appropriate for motorcycles.
It really is. It really is. I don't know why people are riding cars when they can just ride motorcycles. Think about it. It's not that cold. It's nice weather. You can do whatever you want.
That's the end of traffic as we know it.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing, I think. So I'm thinking of bringing my bike to LA actually. So I'm going back for some time because my dad's a little sick. I have to take care of him a little bit. And then I have to do some meetings I have going on over there too. I got to wrap up some things. And I'm going to probably ride my motorcycle back or ride my car back and ship my motorcycle or ride my motorcycle, ship my car back. I'll figure it out. Cross-country motorcycle is fun, Let me know if you want to go.
I'm down, but I have to get my motorcycle license.
That you need.
Yeah.
Do it the right way.
But I'll have to do that, yeah. I need my motorcycle license.
It's not that hard.
It's pretty inspiring, the conversation, because I'm thinking of flying a plane now.
Listen, you gotta do it. It's not that difficult. You know what you gotta do is take a ride, just like with me. You want to go? Let's go. Let's fly together, right?
Let's take a camera and get some shots.
Hell yeah, let's go. I've done that. That's brilliant. I do drones too, by the way. I have drones that I use.
You drive
fly drones? Yeah.
Pilot drones?
Fly drones too. Yeah, and I had to get a license for that too. so we have that too. But with the plane, I think what we're hesitant about is we don't know what the outcome will be, right? But what I suggest is close your eyes and just go to a private airport and say you want to take classes.
Yeah.
It's called a discovery flight. Just take a discovery flight and see how it feels. Because sooner or later, I'm telling you, there's gonna be a lot of flying cars around here.
Yeah.
Especially in LA, the way things are going.
It's good to get a head start.
Yeah, exactly. So I think definitely if you want to do it, man, I'm with you. Let's go.
Well, it's in the near future. Right now, I want to also get into writing, finish a project I'm working with my brother.
Oh, nice. Good.
And it's also like a film we started a while ago, but we're going to finish that because what you said just now, you have to get that movie because other producers are going to ask you where you sold it, where you exhibited it, where did it stream?
Yeah.
So all that's key. I think we got some good insight on all the movie business from BuAli. Do you have any other recommendations for our viewers?
I mean,
on the film business, maybe that we haven't mentioned today.
If you talk about the filmmaking business, and I think first thing you want to do is do your homework. So if you want to get your hands dirty, what you want to do is, back when I started, there was no YouTube, right? So we had to do it the hard way. I broke cameras, I broke drones, I've broken lights, I've broken my bones. But now things are different. You have a lot of education on places like YouTube and other places, right? So what I suggest you do is start with pressing that play button on a video, right? Subscribe to a place where you think is good, like place like this. Subscribe so you can have an understanding, you can learn from it, right? And then just continue to grow your educational aspect of making film. And then don't just do that. Grab a camera or grab your phone
do it,
and start doing it. Understand the basics of it. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
Lights, camera, action. It's not difficult.
Yeah,
right? It's simple. Exactly. Just do it, and then you take it, you edit it, you learn from it. Because when I did it, I didn't have a lot of money, obviously, at that time too. It's not like I have a lot of money right now, but at that time I had nothing. So I had to shoot, light it, edit it, cast it, re-edit it, show it, re-edit it, cut the trailer. It was a lot of work, and guess what? I put the hours in it. I looked thousands and thousands of hours in it. So if you tell me if I've been lucky, no. I've been working a lot of work, and you work more hard. So if you want to do something like that, put your back into it. You got it. You can do it. Anyone can do it.
All right, that's amazing. Well, BuAli Shah, please let us know where people can find you on your social media, Instagram, or people can watch your movies, like the one they exist. Is that on your webpage?
Yeah. So my webpage is realproductions.com.
Real Productions. Is that like REE or
Both. So REAL Productions.com. And then obviously you can go to my Instagram called BuAli Shah. So B's in boy, UALI, Shah, SHAH. And I'm the only BuAli Shah out there. So you can find me there. And yeah, communicate with me, talk. We'll collaborate. If you're in LA, fantastic. No matter where you are, we can collaborate, work together. And I'm always here to work with people and get to know people, and always share with me whatever you guys want to do, and I'll share with you. And I think one thing I really want to mention is that, a single person, if you're trying to succeed alone, the world doesn't work that way. Alone, you can't do much. You're very limited alone. Make that team. When I say a team, I'm talking about family. When you work with people, you should make a family. Right. So, for example, I come here, Catalina, I know her for 12, 13 years. Yeah. Look, I came here and boom, she brought me to this place where I got to meet you, great folks like yourself, and got to do this. And I think it's because of the way we were. We were like family. I took care of her when she was on set. She took care of me, all that kind of stuff. So we gotta build a team like a family. And then I promise you the growth is inevitable. That's right.
All right. Well, thanks everyone from Nerdopolitan for tuning in to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more incredible content. Thank you, BuAli.
Thank you.
I hope this is not the only time you're going to come to our set. We'll have more conversations on future projects, or if there's a movie we want to comment, maybe we can take a look at it and comment it together.
Sure.
You're welcome anytime here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.